as we're talking about the college football season rounding out. The NFL regular season is closing. As we're recording this episode, there are games still being played. And the playoffs will be next week. But the conversation now points to the awards season that everybody loves to look at and talk about. The biggest one is going to be who is the NFL MVP. There are guys that have been in conversation. You think about a Saquon Barkley, you think about a Joe Burrow, who, despite the fact that his team probably won't make the playoffs, has had an outstanding year. I think he leads the league in passing yards by like 300 or 400 yards. But the two main names that have come up is down to Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. So Elijah, as we get here to the end of the regular season, who is your NFL MVP?
Man, this is the toughest thing for me because Lamar Jackson numbers are unbelievable. But I'm gonna have to ride with Josh Allen. I'm gonna tell you why. I think with Josh Allen, um, guys were in and out of the lineup, and he was able to put up numbers. You know, they traded for Amari Cooper towards the end. Um, they also Keon Coleman missed a few games. They were starting I think Hollis was his name. He's like a special team guy. You know, as your right receiver. Um, uh, Kincaid missed a couple games, so it's like he had to make a lot of stuff happen, and that's why I say Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson to me is I think if you give him the MVP, I'm not mad at it because his numbers that he put up. But I think like all year, I know they even traded for Nate Bateman, but I still like Josh. I think Josh's numbers speak for itself. I think Josh had some good wins, especially one beating Kansas City. He also beat Detroit. I also think that with the world on his shoulders in that Buffalo organization, I think that he did a phenomenal job of keeping things up for the Bills to win, especially leading them to a number 2 seed this year. So again, I'm gonna give it to Josh. I'm gonna edge it out to Josh. But my dark horse really, because I think it's more of a quarterback award. I think it should either went to Saquon or Jamar. Um, that's who my really two dark horses were. But again, that probably be an offensive player of the year conversation between those two. So I give it to Josh, and I think Josh should win it for that sole reason that I feel like he had to do more for the Buffalo Bills to win, especially with that bad defense and with his receivers in and out of the lineup and tight end. So I give it to Josh.
You want to talk about bad defense, brother? Trust me, Baltimore Ravens defense
Real bad.
rough especially in passing situations. I know because they was on my fantasy team for a little while. And I had to take them in and out of the lineup so many times because I was like, my God, y'all keep giving up all these points. Brother, I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one because Lamar Jackson is him. 4,100 passing yards, 915 rushing yards, 41 total touchdowns passing to just 4 interceptions. That alone is insane. And I know people are going to say, well, he had 1,000-yard rush. I think an 1,800-yard rusher behind him. You can't use that to discredit what he's doing. His offense just fine. Like, what you want him to do? He can't help the fact that Derrick Henry is a dog too. And really, if it would have been a couple more situations, he could have been right there with Saquon Barkley to be on pace for Eric Dickerson's record to break it, which I personally think that Nick Sirianni should have played Saquon. I do want to go on record as saying that because, brother, let him get the record. It wouldn't have took him long. Give him the ball 10 times. I bet you he'd have broke the record. Like, whatever. But Lamar Jackson, man, has done something at a high level. And I think it's even more so because of the way that people early in his career scrutinized him and always said that he should move the receiver. He's nothing but a running back. I need my quarterback to be more quarterbacky, all that crazy stuff that people have said about this brother. Yet he's a 2-time NFL MVP. And I believe he should be 3-time. Now, the thing that is going to be heavily sat on his shoulders is that all the 2-time NFL MVPs in the history have won a Super Bowl. It's a lot of pressure in that conversation. But bro, when you playing this good, you got to go win the Lombardi. You just have to go do it. Yes, the individual accolades are great, and he is deservingly so of getting that award, but you got to win the big one. I know it's a team sport, but you got to go win the big one. You got to go do it, brother. He should be the NFL MVP without question. How close do you think this race will actually be in terms of the voting? I don't know when the NFL honors is the exact day. I'll probably look that up while you're answering, but how close do you think this will come down to between these two guys?
I mean, it's gonna come down to the wire for sure. Only for the simple fact that like we both Lamar Jackson numbers speak for itself. I think what Josh Allen wasn't to what he what's not on paper for Josh Allen makes his case, and what's on paper for Lamar Jackson makes his case. So I think it's going to come down to what's on the wire for these two quarterbacks. Because I mean, honestly, I think these two teams they're the same to me when it comes to like defense. I know Baltimore's picked it up in the last few games, but they're kind of the same to me. But I just feel like it's going to come down to probably like 1 or 2 votes, man. Like 1 or 2 votes. Because honestly, well, what can you say, man? Like, what can you really say about these two? Because it's nothing that if you go one way, it's just like to me with the Heisman. If you'd have picked Ashton, I was fine with it. If you'd have picked Travis Hunter, I was fine with it. That was the same way with if you pick Josh Allen, I'm fine with it. If you pick Lamar, I'm fine with it. It's not a one with it like, hey, he's not deserving. So I think it'll come down to 1 or 2 votes, man. Whatever sways in what direction.
Yeah, I'm seeing a couple of dates randomly. I saw like February 6th. It'll be in New Orleans. Yeah, so it'll be unveiled publicly February 6th during the NFL honors at the Sagner Theater in New Orleans, and it'll be on Fox and NFL Network at 8 p.m. Yeah, man, I think that it is going to be a close race, but it's Lamar's. It's Lamar's. Now, obviously, I don't know if the way that you play in the postseason factors into any of this, but if it does, Lamar, you got to do your big one, bro. You got to make it to the big dance. I do want to give credit to Josh Allen because the knock to him was always, oh, he turns the football over too much and all of that. He only had 6 interceptions thus far before playing his game here today, like what we always have looked at. But yeah, we shall see who will be the league's MVP when it's all said and done. My thoughts is that it will truly be a 2-man race. It'll come down to 2 people between Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson and Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen. So we shall Thank you so much for watching this clip of the Fitz Take podcast. Be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also follow me and Elijah on our social media platforms. They will be linked down in the description. And remember, every episode of the Fitz Take podcast will air right here on the YouTube channel every Monday at 2 p.m. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.